Hello, I'm Stingy GD. For me, today is February 18th, 2025. Recording this 8 days after the release of a video I made about some game I fancied back in the day. And probably you're seeing this on June 27th, 2025, explicitly on my birthday. I've turned 22. Hooray. That is unless I didn't end up feeling held back, incompetent, incapable, and so on as the list goes. However, if you're seeing this, it means I've probably overcome the weight of misery I've grown accustomed to placing on every step I take. To cut it short, you're listening to an old recording of me talking to myself like a schizophrenic and miserable gaming enthusiast. But I welcome you, whether you know me before or you're just an internet dweller who somehow seemingly appears to bear witness to a glimpse of my misery surfacing from the depths of my long silence. Poetic, isn't it? And I'm grateful. I really am that you took the time to listen to the things I've said so far. The thing is, I made a quote-unquote mistake of publishing a video, which you would call a passionate act, and showing what I worked on to an audience of strangers. This decision catapulted me from almost 30 subscribers to immediately hitting a 500 subscriber milestone on YouTube in just a few days before even recording this. As much as this was my dream a long while ago, reaching that now made me feel more afraid and overwhelmed than anything. Am I being sensible here? Or am I overthinking this accomplishment? I know I should feel great about this. I put in an effort and I received in return. Yet it's off-putting. And if I were to try my best effort to explain my thoughts and concerns that make me nervous, it would be that ever since we have been overwhelmed by the unfortunate virus back in 2020, it feels like I blinked and now it's 2025. 5 years have just flown by and I couldn't even process the 1,537 days that have passed up to the date of this recording. Again, I know it'll sound poetic, but here I am within these confines, situated in a remote mountainous region where satellite Wi-Fi is available, but cellular reception is absent for me. A lot of things have unfolded for all of us, both for you and for me. As time passed, I didn't even notice my physical and mental decline. I can't help but think that if I were to depart from this world, my body could nourish the earth in a more meaningful way than anything I've ever done so far. While I could barely find the energy to raise from my partially broken bed, suddenly I found an audience from nowhere. Don't get me wrong here, I am more than pleased and appreciative than how I may sound for the time being. But now I just sit back and repeat to myself, come on, this isn't the first time you had such an audience. You've spoken on stages, you had a community before from your old creative works, you made an impact on people's lives even if your name was short-lived within their minds. I repeat this in desperation to find that same old passion, desire, and energy to put in an effort, but it seems to me that pessimism is a new standard and optimism is a currency to sustain livability. Keep that sentence in mind when I say it, because those 5 years have changed many things. Finding a job is a privilege. Working is a metaphorical tabletop game of politics from 9 to 5. views are all about a horse race between those who are already successful enough. We're doomed scrolling through AI-generated content that is just short clips of other content creators or snippets of relatable quotes from books and poetry with half-assed gameplay from a game that all of us have played at some point, just to sustain our attention span towards a video. The new forms of creative works and content are significantly influenced by woke culture. It isn't about acceptance and equal treatment, now ironically is forcing subjective right and wrong on one another. Expressing your personal opinion on any form of topic online, whether it's popular or not, can lead to disrespect from those who disagree with you. May even go out of their way to ruin what you've been trying to build over time just because you disagreed with them. Money is valued more than people's boundaries. Exploiting people's misery is a new form of content, and doing things for fun to entertain yourself and others is considered outdated. Games are being made for cash grab and artificial intelligence instead of being a tool for inspiration. It's a replacement for creative works that shape its algorithm, putting those out of work that have fed its algorithm by those who consensually or non-consensually aided to it. Now, you tell me. I come from a generation where creators like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Vanoss Gaming, ABitOrion, and NanTDM gave me that most memorable childhood to suddenly the world turning into a fight between grind for money, masculinity, and humiliation upon the weak. With all this negativity being the new standard of our current times and positivity becoming an envious form of act, where do I stand in all this? I've grown up to be righteous and admire those who serve as content with their utmost genuineness and still continue to do so. With this new standard, I don't stand a chance before you and many others. All I am left with is very little light of determination that is dampened by the amount of pessimistic perspective I hold dearly within my clouded mind. You, viewer, have already put me far ahead and fed little determination I have to push out a video, and carried me to 500 subscribers. Despite all that, even if I'm at the starting line, I failed many of you, and I left you with a recording from 18th of February that you have been listening to this entire time. I apologize, and I wish I had given you something better than what this is. All I can tell you is how grateful I am, how thankful I am, and tell you that I barely exist here and there. My currency of optimistic outlook towards the future is running low. Thank you, but I'm afraid.